The bridge of the Zephyrian warship Nexus Prime fell silent as Commander Vextar studied the readings on his holographic display. The human vessel had been disabled 3 cycles ago, its primitive engine sputtering to a halt after their ion pulse had struck its propulsion systems. Yet something about this encounter felt different from their usual subjugation protocols. "Bring the human aboard," Vextar commanded, his 3 eyes narrowing as he watched the small figure being transported through their energy beam. The Zephyrians had conquered 17 worlds in the past solar rotation, each species surrendering after witnessing their superior technology. Humans, they had been told, were particularly fragile. The human materialized on their deck with a soft shimmer of light. Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth Transport Wanderer looked around at the crystalline walls and floating control panels with obvious curiosity rather than terror. This was already unusual. "Welcome aboard, human," Vextar announced, his voice amplified through the ship's translation matrix. "I am Commander Vextar of the Zephyrian Empire. You will surrender your vessel's cargo manifest and submit to our authority." Sarah tilted her head, studying the 7-foot-tall alien with its iridescent purple skin and elaborate ceremonial armor. "Nice ship," she said finally. "Very, sparkly. I'm Captain Chen. Sorry, but I can't exactly hand over cargo that's already been delivered. Empty hold and all." The other Zephyrians on the bridge exchanged glances. Subcommander Krillex whispered urgently, "The human shows no fear pheromones. Perhaps it doesn't understand the situation." Vextar stepped closer, his imposing frame casting shadows across the human's small form. "Perhaps you misunderstand, Captain Chen. We are the Zephyrian Empire. We have conquered worlds beyond counting. Your species is primitive, weak. You will comply." Sarah's eyebrows rose. "Conquered worlds, huh? That's quite a resume. Though I have to ask, if you're so advanced, why are you shaking down cargo runners in the middle of nowhere? Seems like busy work for a galactic empire." A ripple of confusion passed through the bridge crew. Vextar's mandibles clicked irritably. This human was either incredibly brave or incredibly stupid. He decided to demonstrate the futility of resistance. "Weapons Officer Zalthek, prepare a minimal plasma discharge. Target the human's extremity. Perhaps pain will clarify the situation." The weapons station hummed to life, energy coils glowing with deadly force. Sarah watched with interest as the alien technology charged up, noting the elegant engineering even as she prepared herself for what was coming. "Last chance, human. Submit or face the consequences." Sarah shrugged. "Well, I've had worse Tuesdays." The plasma beam lanced out, striking her left shoulder with crackling energy. The Zephyrians expected screaming, begging, perhaps immediate collapse. Instead, Sarah staggered slightly, looked down at her smoldering uniform sleeve, and started to laugh. It began as a chuckle but built into full-bodied laughter that echoed through the crystalline chamber. She examined the burn mark on her jacket with the air of someone inspecting a coffee stain. "Oh, that's adorable," she gasped between laughs. "It's like a really aggressive taser. Do you guys actually fight wars with these things, or is this just for intimidation?" The bridge fell into stunned silence. Vextar's 3 eyes widened as he processed what he'd witnessed. The human had taken a plasma discharge, energy sufficient to incapacitate most species, and was laughing about it. "Impossible," Subcommander Krillex breathed. "The plasma should have caused severe neural disruption. How is it still conscious?" Sarah rolled her shoulder experimentally. "Look, I appreciate the light show, really. But I once walked away from a shuttle crash on Kepler 442b, spent 3 days crossing a lava field on Titan Station, and got struck by lightning twice during a solar storm evacuation. Your space laser is definitely unpleasant, but it's not exactly life-threatening." She paused, studying their shocked expressions. "Oh, I get it now. You've been picking on species that haven't had to evolve on a death world. Earth's a tough neighborhood, friends. We're basically walking disaster survivors. Vextar found his voice. You're injured. The plasma burn should be excruciating. Sure, it hurts, Sarah admitted, prodding the wound. But pain's just your body's way of saying, pay attention. I'm paying attention, and what I'm noticing is that your big scary weapon feels like a bad sunburn. The commander looked around his bridge at his crew's bewildered faces. In all their conquests, no species had ever laughed off their plasma weapons. The psychological impact of their superior technology was their primary advantage. Fear led to surrender led to control. What, Vextar asked slowly, would it take to actually threaten a human? Sarah considered this seriously. Well, a black hole would be inconvenient. Maybe a supernova. Though I knew a guy who survived a gamma-ray burst once, lost his eyebrows but kept his sense of humor. As the Zephyrian stared in growing horror at this revelation, Sarah smiled cheerfully. So, can I get a ride back to my ship? I've got a schedule to keep, and honestly, this has been the most interesting thing to happen all week. Commander Vextar was beginning to understand why the Galactic Council had marked Earth's sector as, approach with extreme caution.